Welcome back to Life to the Max from Target Field, the place that Dan Monskey would probably rather climb than just sit in a seat. Dan Monskey takes us to new heights again this week.
There are activities that people are drawn to with the same intensity and enthusiasm as mainstream sports. Vertical Endeavors in St. Paul, Minnesota has a team climbing program offering young people great physically challenging opportunities.
This is our climb team with Vertical Endeavors. Really successful program. We have some awesome kids that climb with us. What they're doing right here is called bouldering. It's a ropeless style of climbing. And notice that the climbs don't go very high, and if you fall, you just land on the soft landing surface.
Bouldering's basic premise is to condense maneuvers of a long climbing route into a short, intense climb. Lots of action, but close to the ground. So here they're doing the severe moves where the holds are real tight and close.
You got it.
Get a lot of action in a short space.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. Good training ground.
Absolutely. It's good for training. You can use it as a warm-up for rope climbing, and it's a sport unto itself.
Some of these climbing projects are so challenging they can be worked on over and over before perfecting.
I use these holds, and there's no hold over here, so I kind of have to just put my foot on the wall.
Okay.
And I have to reach my foot way up here, so we kind of go like that. And it's kind of hard up here because I have to kind of jump and grip this hold, and then I have to switch my feet with my hand, and then I put my foot on this other one, and then I kind of have to swing over and grab this hold way over here.
Okay.
I come to the gym 2 times a week to practice moves and stuff, and the hard part is I'm kind of smaller, and I have to kind of jump up and get that hold. It's more.
Is this a move you've been, whoa, long fall. Yeah, but you almost made that. Size certainly isn't a deterrent for this team.
Climbing as a sport is totally got a different tone than the mainstream sports. It's something that definitely, especially in places like Minnesota, you have to seek it out to be involved. When you're climbing with someone, you're trusting that they're gonna hold the other end of the rope, that if you take a fall, it could potentially mean your life is in their hands. And that breeds a totally different sort of social interaction and trust amongst team members and climbers in general.
Team members work closely with coaches to develop and refine their climbing skills. They also work closely together and pass on tips and techniques to each other. It's a great environment for developing skills.
Well, what I'm doing when I'm spotting is making sure he doesn't fall on anything that could hurt him. Like if he was at a certain angle and he fell, he might roll over and maybe hit his head really hard.
Bouldering is just one type of climbing. Lead climbing or sport climbing is a more complex technique. This isn't just regular climbing. There's no rope attached up there. It's down here.
Yeah.
What's the process
As
here?
I climb up, I will take the rope and clip it into those clips up there. And when I fall, the idea is that you will fall down, but the clips will catch you. This is a more realistic type of climbing because when you go outdoors, there's not going to be ropes set at the top of the mountain.
It's a great place to come in the winter when you can't go outside and it's too cold. Also, it's a lot closer to my home than Red Wing or Taylor's Falls. And it's a lot more social. There's usually more people here than you'd find outside on a given day. But the main point is that you want to be outside, so the gym is a great place to train in order to do that.
All attention is directed toward climbing outside. Sport climbing is a higher level technique, great for just that. The team is headed to Red Wing, Minnesota, a great outdoor training location.
The important things in the gym are also important out here.
They go over safety practices to make the group aware of potential dangers and to keep those to a minimum.
And you're just gonna find it wherever it is and get your hand onto it and then go to the flake, okay? It's gonna be kind of reachy. It's tough, it's a tough climb. Climbing outside is totally different than climbing in the gym though.
I'm curious how the two environments compare for the young climbers.
Climbing outside is more of a challenge because the routes aren't exactly set up, it's just natural rock, whereas when you're in the gym, there's people set different routes and so they know how to solve them, whereas if it's out in nature, you have to kind of find your own way to solve it.
There you go, you got it.
When you're climbing, do you just want to focus on climbing or do you enjoy the belay aspect as well?
I like both.
Because it's kind of like a run-through when you belay. You get to watch it happen.
The outdoor hands-on classroom really works. They are continually learning and teaching as well. It's helping each other to achieve success. Pat and I took a tour of the bluff to check out the climbs. He explained that bolted sport climbing emerged back in the 80s, and that these climbs at Red Wing are on abandoned quarry walls. It's a great reuse of an area.
I wanted to do a sport and I wanted to try something new, so I thought I'd give rock climbing a try, and I really took to it. Well, it's really exciting just to be on the cliffs and just to be outside, which I really like, but on the actual climbs, you have to put everything together. Like, you have to be physically strong, you have to be mentally tough, and you have to have good technique, and so you have to, in order to solve the problem of the route, you need to put everything together. It's not a one-facet sport. When you're on the ground, you have to think about it, plan out every move, figure out what you're gonna do, try to be most efficient and save your energy and try to get to the top. It all depends on the person. Like, one person could be really strong and have no technique and do fine. One person could be really weak but have amazing technique and they could do the same problem with no issues. So, I mean, you can approach it in so many different ways and to solve the same problem. I've been all over the country for climbing competitions. I've been to like Boston and California and Michigan. I've also been to Ecuador and Australia for the Youth World Cups.
Since he's ranked 11th in the world, I asked Corey for some climbing tips.
It's something that takes a lot of time to learn and for your body to adjust to, but a really important thing is to really focus on your feet. Try to make sure to put as little weight on your arms as possible to try to conserve your energy.
Okay, that's a good first pointer.
Yeah.
Don't get worn out.
Yeah, exactly. Just relax and do whatever moves feels natural to you. Like doesn't matter what anyone else says, just do the moves that feel good to you. So just try to find the most easy and cool way up the wall.
Okay, feel your way and have a good time.
Yeah.
Climbing at the gym is great, but like a lot of climbers, I prefer it outdoors. I'm having a blast climbing today. See you on our next adventure.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.